First of all, I just want to hear your first reaction when you heard this story break.
Hurt. Just breaks your heart, doesn't it? And it's aggravating and frustrating because you really don't know what's going on. We're all hearing it second, third hand, but just because of the content of the event, it breaks your heart.
What's your commitment to the folks who are obviously hurt by this, like you are, and concerned?
But what I've always attempted to do is be, the best neighbor I can possibly be, and walk through this with these friends and neighbors of mine. I can't give them any more except for my presence. I can't necessarily soothe all their hurts or their doubts, but I can walk with them and let everybody know for sure that I'm one of you. We are all one together. We're community. But there's nothing magic that I can potentially do. But I can love my fellow, neighbors,
Right.
my brothers and sisters.
I'm sure you heard what I did, some of the concern about the fact that he's on paid administrative leave. Can you explain why that happens as opposed to an unpaid leave in a situation like this?
Sure. Remember that everyone is allowed due process, and under employment rules, civil service, unions and such, not just here with the city, but in most organizations, you are also subject to, protections that all of us should be, subject to when it comes to employment or the laws of the city, the state, or the nation.
So no one should read that as the city saying this isn't a big deal.
Oh, heavens no. Oh, heavens no. But we're taking standard, procedure to attempt to, protect everybody's interest.
Right. And part of your job is to look at situations, this and many others, in a way that's unbiased, not pressured by the passions of the community. Have you been able to conflate in your mind how an acceptable reason for things like this to be on display in one of our police officers' homes?
I'm not going into conjecture because I'm sure I have spent, the wee hours of the morning thinking these things out, but it's just conjecture. It's armchair quarterbacking. We'll let the individuals that know how to dig into this and find out what it's really all about.
Okay. Outside of this incident, what do you know about Officer Charles Anderson?
Nothing outside of nothing.
Okay.
Nothing except for the event where he was almost mortally wounded.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But I've had no contact with him.
Okay, and you've not had an opportunity, on a positive or negative occasion, to take action to recognize him or to discipline him as a board.
No, and we don't have that authority. And that under our form of government, we are a manager, council, or commission form of government. Under our charter and under our rules, the city manager is the chief executive officer, and then all the department and division heads under our employment rules are responsible for their employees, discipline, so on and so forth. But
You certainly have the ability to influence decisions as the mayor of this city.
We may, but that's a slippery slope under our form of government. It really is. Because in one instance where it may be deemed justifiable, do you really want a megalomaniac who doesn't know his from a hole in the ground getting in the way of measured
Day-to-day.
and
Right.
rational governance?
Right.
I don't mean just this type of incident, because too often those people that don't stay in their own lanes, you know, they take advantage of their fellow citizens, and they think they have more power than they're actually entitled to. I have no more power or authority than anybody else on the body. There is no authority outside of the body of the seven.
Given what you do know, and I know you're not privy to all the internals of the investigation, but given what little information you do know, can you see a path forward where this officer could effectively police this community?
I don't know. I don't know. Again, you know, conjecture. You know, the situation is fluid, and it's hot, and it's sad.